As California continues to invest in programs and policies to mitigate climate change, the expectations of California rangelands to contribute to ecosystem services such as watershed health and carbon sequestration has increased greatly. Soil management activities have been encouraged and incentivized through programs to maximize the mitigation potential of each acre of rangeland. Point Blue Conservation Science, in partnership with local community ranchers, RCDs, and NRCS, are studying the efficacy of some of the management activities implemented through California's Healthy Soils program on soil health, forage health and production, and plant communities.
Hello everyone, my name is Corey Shake. I'm a senior partner biologist in Yolo County, California, and I'm standing here on Yolo Land and Cattle Company's home ranch, which is owned and operated by the Stone family and is situated in the oak savannas and grasslands between the Sacramento Valley and the Coast Ranges. I'm here to talk about a project where Yolo Land and Cattle Company partnered with the Yolo County Resource Conservation District to implement the compost on rangelands practice for the Healthy Soils program. My role on this project was to monitor the impacts of this practice on the soil, the plant species, and the feed available for cattle, which I'll refer to as forage production. As the program required, green waste compost was spread in the early fall in 3 consecutive years, each time at a rate of 5 dry tons per acre. It was spread over 50 total acres in 3 different grazing units. To have a baseline for comparison, we collected this information 1 year before spreading any compost and then after each compost spreading event. Inside each plot, we measured soil health conditions like the amount of carbon in the soil and metrics of soil compaction. We also measured coverage of different plant species and forage production inside grazing exclosures. To have a baseline for comparison, we collected this information 1 year before spreading any compost and then after each compost spreading event. Thus far, there are only slight indications of impacts from the compost. Soil organic carbon appears to be increasing in the top 4 inches of soil, and some of our data show that there's less compaction there as well. So far, there are no clear signs that this practice is favoring one group of plant species over another, and the good news is that invasive plants like medusa head and goatgrass are not doing any better in areas where compost was spread. Forage production, on the other hand, responded opposite of what was expected, where we saw slight losses in feed available in compost application areas relative to areas where no compost was applied. We are excited to see what our 3rd and final year of observations will tell us after 3 cumulative years of compost applications, and we hope to see stronger responses in soil health, as well as continued neutral response from plant species composition, and especially gains in available feed for cattle.
Good morning. I'm Alicia Herrera. I'm a partner biologist with Point Blue Conservation Science, and this morning I am filming from the Ross Ranch Carbon Sequestration Demonstration Site in Shasta County. The ranch belongs to the McConnell Foundation, and I've been working with them since 2017 to help design and implement healthy soil practices and a compost application study under the CDFA Healthy Soils program. We were interested in the influence of compost, perennial grass seeding, and a combination of compost and seeding on soil health and forage production. We used compost tested at a carbon to nitrogen ratio between 20 and 26 and applied compost at a rate of 5 dry tons per acre. The compost was applied annually at this rate for the compost-only treatment and the compost and seed combination treatment. On the plots that were seeded, we used a mix of perennial grasses drill seeded at a rate of 25 pounds per acre. The seeded plots were not grazed for one season to allow the roots to establish. Afterwards, all treatment and control plots were grazed at the same intensity during the fall through spring grazing season. We collected data on soil surface carbon to a depth of 8 inches, on bulk density, water infiltration, and forage biomass production. We have 1 year of pre-treatment data and 3 years of post-treatment data for the soil health metrics and 2 years of post-treatment data for forage production. After 3 years of monitoring, we found few significant changes in soil health metrics. None of the treatments significantly changed soil surface organic carbon or water infiltration rates. The seed-only plots had slight but significant increases in soil compaction, while the compost-only and compost plus seed plots were trending towards reduced soil compaction. 2 years of peak forage production monitoring has shown elevated production levels on plots that received a treatment, significantly so on the plots that were treated with the combination of compost and seeding. Interestingly, in the second year of monitoring, production increased significantly on the controlled plots, but remained relatively consistent on the plots that received compost. We're eager to collect another year of forage production data to see if a trend emerges of reduced production on plots with compost amendment. Thank you so much for joining me out in the field this morning.
Hi, I'm Brianna Schnelly. I'm a partner biologist with Point Blue Conservation Science, and today I'm here at Springs Ranch, home of the Jefferson Center for Holistic Management, a Savory Institute hub in the far northeastern corner of Modoc County. Today I'll share some of our initial findings 1 year after project implementation. Our project focuses on demonstrating the feasibility and testing the outcomes of 2 practices: a one-time compost application at a high rate and rangeland seeding, as well as their interaction. We applied compost at a rate of 12 tons per acre using a standard manure spreader in April of 2020. The compost we used had a carbon to nitrogen ratio of 15:1. A diverse seed mixture of 22 different species of grasses and forbs was also planted in the study plots in March of 2020 using a no-till drill, and we seeded at a rate of 30 pounds per acre. All of the study plots were grazed once in the summer or fall of 2020 using holistic management principles with adaptive multi-paddock grazing. We wanted to study several of the diverse systems in a holistically managed ranch. Therefore, we collected soil organic carbon at 2 depths, 0 to 10 centimeters and 10 to 40 centimeters, crop yield data, plant nutrition availability using plant tissue analysis, soil microbial community by testing and analyzing the phospholipid fatty acids, or PLFA. We did an overall assessment of soil health using the Haney test, which includes soil organic matter and soil respiration. We looked at greenhouse gas emissions, as well as dung beetle and bird populations. So far, with only 1 season of post-practice implementation data, we have found that our soil organic carbon at the shallow 0 to 10 centimeter depth went up in almost all of our plots, including our control plots. Increases ranged from 0.1 to 1.3% increases, with the highest increases in the compost-only plots, an average of 0.6% increase. The deeper 10 to 40 centimeter depth had a 50-50 split, with some plots increasing and some plots decreasing in soil organic carbon, but all by a very small amount. Once again, the compost-only plots were the highest increased average, with 0.2% at the steeper level. We found pretty similar results in our forage production that we did with our soil organic carbon results. We saw an increase across the board in forage production, including in our control plots, but we did see that our compost-only plots really blew the others out of the water in terms of percent increase. Thanks for your time today and for learning about our project at Springs Ranch.
On the Healthy Soils Program demonstration sites we are monitoring, initial results suggest that changes in soil health metrics and forage production are slight or not apparent within the first 2 to 3 years of a light compost application. It may take longer to detect changes, or this could be an indication that there may be a threshold application rate needed to improve soil health and boost forage production. Indeed, on the one demonstration site using a one-time high rate of compost application, soil health and forage production improvements were detected within 1 year post-treatment. It's important to continue to evaluate these practices in the context of different climates, soil types, land use histories, and stacking of practices to inform recommendations and adoption of practices at a large scale.